going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today we want to react to the Chicago Bears number 10 overall pick, Ben Johnson, getting his new toy in tight end Colston Loveland out of Michigan. The Chicago Bears have decided to go tight end with the number 10 spot and selected a guy that probably not most people would expect, with two tight ends still on the board between Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland, and decided to go with actually Colston Loveland instead of Tyler Warren. And in today's video, this reaction, just talking about what I think Colston Loveland can offer to the Chicago Bears, I'm trying to convince you guys that this was actually a very phenomenal pick by the Chicago Bears, especially for Ben Johnson, and that it just fits what the Bears are trying to do in 2025, and that I'm super excited about this pickup. Now, one thing I want to say, overall, Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren were pretty close in the eyes of many NFL scouts and teams, according to many reports, so that gap was actually not that big. And both are rated as very high year one starting type of players with Pro Bowl and All-Pro potential. So I think overall we should not overreact with this pick for the Chicago Bears in terms of, oh, Tyler Warren was a better player or Colston Loveland is a better player. Two great football players, different styles, and we'll talk about that today too. But like I said, overall for me, Colston Loveland, great addition to the Chicago Bears. And with that being said, let's actually talk about his playing style, what he can offer, and what I saw on tape with him and what he's going to bring to the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson, and especially Caleb Williams as a receiving threat. Now, for size, he's 6'6", 248, so very tall tight end with great speed and athletic ability. Things that stood out to me though on tape were obviously his receiving ability. So let's talk about that first. As a route runner, I think that was one big plus. A very sudden and just overall precise route runner with excellent change of direction. Like when he gets into a route, he first of all gets in there with a plan, just like a pass rusher goes into his rush with a plan. He starts his route with a plan, trying to set up the defender, and it has really quick feet and just strong footwork to work off of that and break back inside at the top of his route at the break point. So I really enjoyed that. I think there's a couple of routes or route examples where he ran a slant route and just absolutely routed up the defensive back, which obviously he's a tight end. I think he's a great separator overall, and he can really get open in one-on-one situations, which is something that definitely put him apart from the rest of this entire draft class as far as tight ends go. Tyler Warren is not going to separate like Colston Loveland at all. It's a different type of player, more physical, but Colston Loveland is a guy that can use his big frame, but also great feet and footwork to get open. So, like I said, plan to attack and understands leverage really well. There's multiple times where he gets a certain alignment from a DB and just uses that to his advantage. If it's an out route, just run away from coverage, he can do that. If it's a slant route, he can set him up by giving him outside in move, just a crossover, and he also uses rocker steps to set up his routes. So a very sudden route runner overall, and he has a very developed route tree. So if he's going to the Chicago Bears, he ran basically everything. He's a true field stretcher. He can run seams, outs, slants, digs, posts, drags. He knows basically the entire route tree, fade routes, wheel routes. He ran at Michigan, so he's already very developed in his route tree, which is obviously very, very great and gets me very intrigued. Now, second point I want to pick out right here with Colston Loveland is definitely speed. I think he definitely can run away from coverage. Obviously, there's very fast guys that will outrun him in certain times, but for 6'6", he's a very athletic guy that can run away from especially linebackers, which is going to be a big mismatch in the NFL, and also safety, as he's going to play against those too. Incredibly smooth as a mover overall. Like, he looks different when he has the football in his hands. He can definitely make guys miss and be a yak threat overall, and when he catches the football, he goes up the field straight away, which was great to see. And then two more big pluses for me on tape that I saw with his targets and touches this year, or last year actually, excuse me, his hands. Very sure-handed, natural catcher of the football. The balls just pop into his hands. He catches them away from the body, attacks them, keeps them away from the defender, and has very smooth hands. Like I said, great ball skills overall. He can jump up and make a play on the football, uses athletic long frame, and has a very good catch radius too to make catches outside of his frame and just stretch out for a football if it's not perfectly thrown into his chest. So that's one big plus too. And then lastly, I want to mention with his receiving ability, his zone ability, multiple times make the correct reads, reading the leverage of the defender and sitting right there in the green. Also on dig routes, posts, just really set up stuff well against zone and created some space for himself to work into, which was great. And he's also a monster for tight end leaks, which is one of my favorite football plays overall, and I know a guy that loves that too, and his name is Ben Johnson. And I think the coolest thing about his NFL comparison by some guys is they compare him to Sam Laporta. And guess who was made so good in his first year in the NFL? Sam Laporta. Ben Johnson made him into the guy that he is today. And I think that's just the Ben Johnson pick. He wanted Colston Loveland. He wanted his Sam Laporta on the Chicago Bears, and he definitely got him. Now, for his blocking skills, I haven't really went into that for his tape yet. I haven't really studied him too deeply. I've studied his 2024 receiving tape. I want to see his 2023 tape with J.J. McCarthy because I think the Michigan quarterback room was really, really bad. That's going to be interesting how he played with better quarterback play even, but I read some stuff with his blocking that he actually stays on his blocks pretty well, and he has a long frame. So I think he's going to be a very talented player that has the potential to be a good blocker, but he doesn't have to be because we have Cole Kmet. So I think the Bears are going to live in 12 personnel, utilizing Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet at the same time, have Rome Odunze and DJ Moore in the field, have a dominant run game, great play action game, and now a great separator, really, with Colston Loveland that you can use as a mismatch machine. And I think, even though some people might be upset that it was not Warren, man, don't be upset because I think that's going to be a really, really fun player to watch. And as I said, that's Ben Johnson's pick right there. He wanted that guy. He has a plan, and I trust him fully to develop Colston Loveland's full potential. And I truly think that his ceiling is a all-pro, Pro Bowl type of a level. Maybe not as a true tight end that blocks and catches, but as a receiving tight end that is going to be super ridiculously productive in the NFL. And I can't wait to see him actually play for the Chicago Bears. So I think overall for the Bears, it's fine to stick and pick at 10. He was really high on the scoreboard for a lot of teams, on the draft board for a lot of teams, actually. So I think it's a great pick right here to get your guy, and it's a phenomenal weapon for the Chicago Bears to utilize in 2025. So very excited about this pickup by the Chicago Bears, and I know Caleb Williams is going to love that guy as well. So that obviously crosses off tight end from the draft board right now. There's still a lot of great tackles and defensive linemen, especially in this draft class, that the Bears can go after, and running backs too, right? There's a great deep running back class ahead of us, so excited what's going to happen on day 2, or if the Bears are actually jumping back into round 1, who knows, maybe like my mock draft, Nick Scorton is maybe there, so very excited what's going to happen next. But I absolutely love Colston Loveland. I think he's a great fit, and everybody that has doubts is probably going to lose them at latest when the Chicago Bears play week 1, and they're going to see Colston Loveland just eat up yards and be a phenomenal player for the Bears from the get-go. So with that being said, guys, that's the end of today's episode. I really hope you've enjoyed this quick little breakdown. I will definitely do a more in-depth breakdown of him later on as well. Definitely let me know also in the comments down below what you think of the Colston Loveland pickup. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.